Good evening, everyone, and it's been a few weeks, so I'm going to be talking about the budget again. It's May the 2nd, and I've had quite a few changes. One of them kind of obvious. I got my hair cut off, and I got it thinned out. It's really hot in the summertime, so I decided just to go ahead and cut it because by September I'd be going nuts. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my budget, what my plans are, how my budget has been going. It's been going really well. My electric bill, I got down some. I went extreme, and last month my bill actually got down to $55, which was amazing. And I had my niece visiting from North Carolina, so I had some extra money to spend. We went out to dinner, and so I didn't have to be stretched in order to do that. There was some money in my budget for gifts and vacation. I try to put a little bit in there now that I'm debt free. I've added that into my budget. I have cut my budget down to $1,000 per month, and the basics is actually about $200, a little bit less than $200. Actually, more than $200, less than $1,000. But I add things back in, like I said, for gifts, vacation time. Varies with the electric bill. May vary with the water bill. Now that summer's here, I'll probably spend some money on some yard stuff. I did buy some plants last month, and I've been doing some yard work, and just a few different things, and it's stuff that I want to do, so I budgeted for it. Some other things, like I said, have changed. I've done some yard works. I planted a bunch of different plants out around my house. Whenever I've been here almost 8 years, and I've never really done anything to the yard because I didn't really feel like I really owned the place, and it's the first time I've had something that was really truly all mine. And so I decided to, since it's paid off and it's absolutely everything is mine, I then decided, yes, I could actually spend some money and enhance the looks of my property. So I have planted several things in my yard, and I've done some other things to make it look a little better, which gives you a kind of a good feeling. I don't ride the motorcycle anymore because I sold it. So, I'm trying to find things to do in my time to keep me busy, because I don't want to go stir crazy. I don't want to go out and spend a bunch of money on crap that I don't need. As I had said before, when I went to the doctor, I found out I had high blood pressure, and I've been taking some medicine for it, but I've been trying to control it naturally with my diet, and I have been doing some walking. This week I've ramped it up a bit. I walked 4 miles last Friday, and I walked 4 miles today. With the mileage all the walking around that I've been doing, like at work and stuff, I felt like walking 4 miles would not be too much for me to do to start with. And my plan is to stay with 4 miles like three or four times a week for a couple of weeks. And then if I don't hurt myself doing that, I will go up a little bit. Although it's gotten hot really quick here. My food budget went really well last month. Like I said, my niece came in, so I spent a little bit extra money going out to eat and that kind of thing. But as far as my actual in-house budget went, it was really good. It was fairly low compared to the fact that we've got all this inflation going on. So, I'm proud of myself for that. And my gas budget wasn't bad. I only spent $109 last month on gas. And I had kind of thought it was going to go up, but it was $109. I mean, I think I've filled it up twice, maybe a part of a tank another time, because I don't really like to get all the way empty, Since my last electric bill, I do want to say, since the weather's been getting hotter, my kilowatt hours has been going up a little bit. I have I keep track of my kilowatt hours every day since this real high bill that I had. And I've been averaging from about 15 to 20 kilowatts per day. And that's with my air conditioner keeping the house relatively comfortable. And then lower at night because like I said before, I just can't sleep if I'm hot. It just don't happen. So yeah, I've been keeping track of that, and that's going pretty well. There has been one more change that is a big change. And so I'm going to talk about that for a minute. You know, I'm just going to say it. I quit my job. And, you know, my job was going really well. And the hours that I worked and the days that I worked were good for me because I wasn't around all of the management and the other people and all the stuff that goes on, you know, in a healthcare setting. And if any of you work in healthcare, you know what I'm talking about. Well, probably within any corporate setting, actually. So anyway, in March, probably maybe around the time of my last video, maybe a little after that, they had another person start to work, you know, with us. And they worked with me a few times. And then there started to be a bunch of drama at work. And I got pulled into that drama as much as I tried to stay out of it. And so that was pretty stressful for me. And then some other things have happened, and I don't know if it was connected to that drama or not, because, you know, I'm not a manipulative person. So a lot of that kind of stuff kind of goes over my head when people do that kind of thing. But yesterday when I got to work, you know, there was a big note for me on the door, and it was not a really nice note, and it was somebody telling me that I needed to do something that is not my job. And so, you know, I relayed that to my boss, and she pretty much said, yeah, you need to do that because, you know, we're shorthanded and you may as well do it. And I'm like, no, it's not my job. I'm not going to do it. And so the rest of the day was clouded by that. And there's been other things over the months that have happened. Like I said, the other drama and things where management doesn't follow through with things that they tell you that they're going to do. And for the most part, you can pretty much ignore it. But when it's happening, it's very annoying. You know, like, especially when it affects the patients. Because a lot of it did affect the patients. And it wasn't like it affected their health, but it affected them as far as coming in for their appointment. It was a bunch of miscommunications going on, and the scheduling and the registration and all that was just was not. It was a mess. You know, patients would come in on the weekend, and you know how a hospital is on the weekend. You know, it's not fully staffed, so these people are wandering around and don't know where to go, and they don't have a real good system to set up for them to find the MRI department. So it was a mess, and management never addressed it. So that and the drama and the note, and then yesterday I had doctors calling about stupid stuff. I mean, it was like a domino effect of a bunch of bullshit is what it amounted to. And I decided that this was not the atmosphere that I wanted to be in. And, you know, when I quit my job last year, I had been there 15 years. And I decided at that point that if I had enough in me to make all those changes back then and still come out of it, you know, with my hair intact, that I could make changes at any time and it wouldn't kill me. So when all this started happening, and yesterday it was just one thing after another, I decided yesterday when I got home, I told myself, if you can't sleep tonight over this, and you wake up in the morning and you're still thinking about it, it's time to quit that job. You know, you get that gut feeling, right? This means things are not going to get better. They're just going to get worse. Okay? So I got up this morning and I was dreaming about that place and, you know, various crazy stuff. And so I wrote the email and I went for my walk and I did a few things and I waited a few hours and I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and finally I addressed it to my manager, copied to HR, and I sent it. And it may not be the best way to do it, but for me, you know, it's what I had to do. And I will tell you the thing that put it over the top for me is that when my manager told me that yes, I needed to do this thing that I said it was not my job, they basically told me this in a text, in a group chat with everyone else that I work with. Yeah. And to me, that was a big no-no. That kind of put me over the edge with this, because I figured if they would do this, there is no telling what else would come on down the line. Because normally with these kind of things, if you have problems with your workplace, they don't generally get better with management unless management is changed. Like, you know, they're removed and someone else comes in, or they quit and somebody else is hired, whatever. And that's basically what I've found over the years with the different jobs that I've had. Because I'm almost 59 years old, so I've been working since I was, 16, I think. And whenever I became old enough and smart enough to figure out what was going on around me, you know, that's kind of what I see, is that management doesn't get better. It just gets worse. So rather than trying to adapt to it and do more things, that was not my job. And I can say honestly that it's not a matter of me being part of a team and pitching in. It was a matter of me doing a job for another department that just was too lazy to come and do their job. That was all it amounted to. I had a discussion with some other people in the other department down the hallway, and that's exactly what they were saying. Is that was, we don't know why all of a sudden we have to do all this stuff that we didn't have to do before. And the one guy, he says, you know, next thing you know, they'll have us outside cutting the grass. I'm like, yeah, well, that ain't happening for me. I'm not doing that. And, you know, that's where I am with that. So that's my big change. So my budget for this month is going to include staying at home and staying under the $1,000 and making sure I don't get hurt and have to go to the hospital. I think I probably have insurance for the rest of the month, but after that, I'm on my own. And I'm going to help a friend out with a budget, I think. Maybe if they still want me to do it. I'm no expert, but, you know, I set mine up, so I'm doing pretty good with that. And I agreed to help them set their budget up. So I'm at the end of the video again, and I'm meandering again. And you know what that means? That means it's time to sign off. Until next time, I will talk to you then. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I am not that busy now. And I'd be glad to talk about anything that you want to talk about. And who knows? I'm always willing to learn something too. So anyway, next time we'll talk to you.